Hello everyone, I am Preet and welcome to Relevant Myths. Patriarchy and feminism are some of the most controversial topics whenever Hinduism and Indian culture are discussed. And most of the times, people discuss these ideas without having a proper understanding of what they actually mean in the Hindu scriptures. Now, as I had said in the video about Prakriti and Purush, it is important to know that metaphors are used widely in Hindu texts, so everything shouldn't be taken literally, but instead we should try to see the symbolism behind it. I recommend you to watch that video first to know how masculinity and femininity are portrayed as Purush and Prakriti respectively. This will give you a really informed idea about the context in which these words are used in Hindu texts. In this second part, I will go through the intricacies of gender, which will help you get a more nuanced understanding about feminism and patriarchy in Indian culture. So, let's begin. To begin with, in Hinduism, masculinity and femininity are not associated with literal genders. These are a group of qualities which have been classified into two types and can be shown by any gender. Masculinity generally refers to the human desire to dominate and be the alpha. In a positive sense, it protects, and in a negative sense, it controls. While femininity is associated with nourishment. In a positive sense, it feeds others, and in a negative sense, it consumes others. So, for example, toughness is associated with masculinity, tenderness with femininity, domination with masculinity, submissiveness with femininity, rationality with masculinity, and creativity with femininity, intelligence with masculinity, and intuition with femininity, penetration with masculinity, and receptivity with femininity, straightforwardness with masculinity, and manipulation with femininity, power with masculinity, and love with femininity. So, what constitutes masculinity and femininity in spirit and in form is a wide fluid spectrum in Indian mythology. This spectrum can be explained by examining the qualities of Hindu gods and goddesses and classifying them under masculinity and femininity respectively. So, in comparison to Vishnu, Shiva appears very masculine. But among Vishnu's avatars, Ram and Parshuram appear masculine while Krishna appears feminine. Also, Krishna's cowherd form is more feminine than Krishna's charioteer form in the Kurukshetra war. But the cowherd Krishna who kills animals and does wrestling is more masculine than the flute-playing, dancing Krishna. Thus, we can say that Murlidhar Krishna is more feminine than Gopal Krishna, who in turn is more feminine than Sarthi Krishna. But all forms of Krishna put together are more feminine than Ram. Ram is more feminine than Parshuram, and Parshuram's love for her mother makes him more feminine than Shiva. Now, the hermit ascetic Shiva is arguably the most masculine of any god, but the householder Shankar, who has a wife and children, is a lot more feminine than the hermit Shiva. Thus, we see a spectrum of masculinity and femininity in all these major gods. There is a similar spectrum in female deities as well. All female forms are not equally feminine. Kali and Durga, who seem wild and uncontrollable, appear very masculine, while Gauri is more feminine. Lakshmi is also feminine in a demanding nature, and similarly Lakshmi's sister Alakshmi, which creates fights between families who have Lakshmi, is also feminine but with a manipulative twist. Saraswati appears masculine in her independence and autonomy. Durga is masculine because she is prepared for war, but is also feminine because she has children. So there is a conflict between the masculine fighting side and the nurturing mother side. So from here, it's very clear that males can be feminine and females can be masculine. So only after understanding how gender is used as a metaphor will you be able to fully appreciate the ideas that Hindu mythology communicates. So this was the video, everyone. In the next video, we will discuss how patriarchy was first established in Indian culture and how it became so deep-rooted. Now you guys tell me, what are your thoughts about this? Share your views in the comment section below. Please like the video and share it to all your friends and family. Also note here that many of these concepts that I have mentioned here are actually taken from the wide work of mythologist Devdutt Patnaik. Links to all of his relevant articles are in the description below if you want to check them out. Subscribe to Relevant Myths and hit the bell icon in order to get more such insights, stories and trivia from the unending world of Indian culture and mythology. Thank you for watching and have an awesome day.